We're really excited here to kick off our 11th annual WASH Symposium this year. And we apologize for some of the delays and thank you for your patience. So I think we're all set to go. What we'd like to do is just take a couple of minutes this morning to run you through some housekeeping, and then we'll get started with the program. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you. This would not have been possible, of course, without all our sponsors and also our hosts here at the Arapahoe Community College, as well as our fiscal sponsors, the Evergreen Club. So we'll have a couple of introductory remarks coming up just briefly after this. As we get started, for those of you who are in person, just to be aware of the exits that we have here in the room for safety and also in the door that's out there. If need be, you can go down the corridor, and there are a couple of other exits just down the corridor. The bathrooms are located around the corner down this corridor here. And when you get to the elevators, if you turn left, there's both a male and female bathroom down in that area. We do encourage everybody, if you do have the cups for sustainability purposes, to use the water fountains here. But of course, we do have the food that's also being provided here, and we'll be providing some thanks for that as well. So hopefully you've all had a chance to get some light breakfast, but feel free to get up and take anything while you're going through the sessions. If you want to network at all during the sessions, we do ask that you step outside. You can step outside either here or in the corridor, just to make sure that we can continue moving forward with presentations as we're going on in the summit room here. We will be serving lunch at around 11:30, 12 in this room. It'll be set up where we have that over there. The lunch is already here. And we will ask people to pick their lunches up, and we will have a lunchtime's plenary speaker. So hopefully everybody will have had time to eat your lunch and be back here in time for that. For anybody who's virtual and joining us today, welcome again. And just wanted to ask you to, of course, please stay muted unless a moderator or somebody calls on you to talk if you've got questions during the program, or if you're presenting, of course, and during the lightning rounds. The breakout room options will appear on your screen if you're on Zoom. And so you will have an option to move into the breakout room of your choice during our two breakout sessions that will happen, one this morning and one this afternoon. If you do want to raise your hand from Zoom, there is a raise hand function. And if we can move on to the next slide. So again, this is for people that are on Zoom. You can go to the bottom of your Zoom screen and you'll see a reactions button. And if you click on that reactions button, there's a raise hand function, and we'll call on you virtually to ask your questions as we go through that. If you do have any problems on Zoom, please reach out to Jeff, and he will be leaving his contact information in the Zoom chat for you all as well. So with that, we'd like to move over to the next slide. And for those of us that are here in person, we just wanted to let you know where we are. We're currently in the summit room down in the blue area on the left-hand side of the main building. And then you'll see an arrow that goes towards the elevators and the stairs that are circled in red. The bathrooms are just above that in green. Our breakout rooms are actually going to be on the 4th floor. So you can either take the elevators or the stairs up to the 4th floor. And we have the 3 rooms just outside of there that you'll see on the right here, marked in blue. So as we ask you to proceed to the breakout rooms for our breakout sessions, just so that you have some awareness of where to go, but there'll be signs as well that will help you navigate up there. So with that, what I'd like to do is say some thank yous. Very quickly, we'd like to thank our hosts here from the Arapahoe Community College, Dr. Navran and Dr. Fuji. This wouldn't have been possible without this space, so thank you very much. We'd also would like to thank Sarah and the Delta by Marriott Catering, who's catering our breakfast, lunch, and snacks this afternoon. We really appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for being here with us today. We'd like to thank also the the Rotary Club of Evergreen, who's our fiscal sponsor and have been for the last 3 years. And this has been an amazing event, and we really appreciate your support with this. And thank you, Kay, President Lamontagne, for being here today. And we'll have a couple of introductory remarks in a minute. And also to thank the Rotary District and District Governor Bucci for supporting this WASH Symposium this year. So with that, we would like to also thank all of our sponsors here, Iron Woman, who's our golden sponsor. And then we have Nine Power, the American Water Works Association, Raymond James, Village Health Partnerships, Innovative Water Technologies, and a whole suite here. I'm not going to read all the Rotary clubs, but we really thank you again. This wouldn't have been possible without you. And I do want to remind people that all the net profits from the symposium go towards supporting awards for scholars and students to be able to go towards supporting them in their WASH projects. And you'll be hearing a little bit more about that just after the this afternoon during the poster session. So with that, if you haven't had a chance to pick up the agenda schedule outside, you can scan this QR code. We will have them around as well, and that'll take you directly to the agenda as you navigate for the day. So with that, I also would like to thank my co-chair, Tim Wellman. It wouldn't be possible without him and the whole committee. And thank you, everyone. And I'll pass it over to Tim.
And thanks to Charlotte as the other co-chair. It's been a real pleasure to work with the Rotarians and the groups that we've got going on here, sponsors and all. Briefly, just to bring us all back, why are we here? WASH, right? Water, sanitation, hygiene. A few factoids there for you in terms of the challenges that we face in the work that we do. There's obviously a lot of folks still without drinking water, a lot of folks without sanitation and without adequate hygiene. So, the reasons why we are here, obviously, as Rotarians or as NGOs or nonprofits or whoever working in the international development world, trying to solve these issues, get more potable water out there, more access, more capacity, more education, so that people can live those healthy lives. To get everybody involved, we have a word cloud activity. And so for folks that are virtual, you can just click on the link in the box. Hopefully that is active. If not, you can always just go down to mentimeter.com and use that code. For folks that are here and you have your smartphone, this is really cool, QR code. You just take a picture. Well, you don't even take a picture. You just put your camera on that and it should lead you to our word cloud activity, which I think we'll talk to Jeff. Switching to, come on. I'll leave it up. Yes, we'll switch to the word cloud activity. But the idea is to try to define what impact means for WASH projects. You all have great experience, wealth of knowledge, both in the room and internationally here, our virtual folks. The word cloud activity is to these little boxes. You're able to add the words that you think are most important for impact in water and sanitation hygiene projects. And then we'll generate a word cloud here with everybody's participation. So please feel free to fill in as many boxes. You can vote as many times as you want, even though I think there's only 10 boxes. You can go back and re-enter if you have more words to describe what impact means to you. So we'll give people just a few minutes to do that, and then we'll see the results. What's a Zoom call without technical difficulties? But if everybody votes, we will be able to show the word cloud here once we figure out the issue. But not to worry, there will be a word cloud. Okay, so with that, I think we'll move to our introductory remarks. The folks that are here to be introduced, I get the pleasure of introducing Dr. Darius Navron of ACC. He is the instruction dean. He's been a Rotarian for 5 years with the Denver Southeast Club, and really is the person who put us in contact with this great venue. So with that, I'll leave it to him to introduce.
Good morning. Thank you, Tim, for your wonderful introduction of me. I'm honored to have this event at Arapahoe Community College. I couldn't think of a better venue than ACC. We are providing not only education community-wise, but trying to expand our reach globally too. So I'm so happy to have you here. I'm one of the instruction deans, so I'm just want to make sure that is clear. There are 4 instruction deans, so I'm one of them. I became a Rotary member through Dr. Van Arsdale. He endorsed me, and I appreciate being a member. So I want to introduce my and ACC college president, Dr. Stephanie Fuji, and I know you and I appreciate her taking time to join in, and we all know the life of a college president, how hectic, busy it is, so I'm honored to have her here. Stephanie, would you walk up to the podium? And she tells everybody, call me a Stephanie, so that's why I said Stephanie. I was allowed to use her French name.
And it's always interesting whenever they introduce me and y'all applaud, which is very, very nice, but I haven't even done anything. And so really, Darius was the one who facilitated and enabled the college to be able to host you today. As he shared with me, my name is Stephanie Fuji. I have the honor and pleasure of serving as the president for Arapahoe Community College. I've been at the college for all of a year. I joined us in July of 2020. I moved up here from the state of Arizona. I was in the Phoenix metro area. One of the things that really attracted me to the college and to Colorado is that we have a beautiful area. I am constantly amazed as I walk around the beauty that exists, not only in the state, but also in the Denver metro area, and also what I find on my own campus. Water is important. Water is integral to what we do. We are a community college. I will always, and some people, and I have colleagues that want to drop community out of our name. I never want to drop community out of our name because I take great pride in being a community college because we are the community's place. So when we get an opportunity to partner with organizations who are committed to improving outcomes for our communities, we are aligned and we are walking hand in hand together. ACC is a college that seeks to be responsive and innovative. If we are to address the challenges that exist in our communities, we must be those things. And so you being here today, the commitment and dedication and the work that you're doing in not only trying to advocate, but also trying to educate. I got so excited. I love word clouds. This is one of our most favorite instructional tools because it is a strategy by which we engage students in the content. You are role modeling that. You are experiencing that. You are doing what we do. So thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to be able to host you. I am pleased that you are here, and thank you for all the work that you do.
Thank you again, Dr. Fuji and Dr. Navran, and again, thank you for hosting us. Up next, I'd like to invite President Lamontagne from the Rotary Club of Evergreen for a few words. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome. Thank you for being willing to spend your Saturday committing to helping others. That's a great gift to our world community. I'm here to say how honored the Rotary Club of Evergreen is to sponsor this WASH Symposium. It truly is an honor because it's such an important project for our world. The Rotary Club of Evergreen has done several water projects throughout the world. And these projects have benefited those communities. But what I've also noticed is that it has blessed and benefited those who initiated the projects and saw them through to fulfillment. So it's a mutual gift for those who need the water, but also those who care deeply about our world neighbors. And water has a voice. It truly has a voice. It communicates how we care about those around us, that we're not just concerned about our own preservation and well-being, but we care deeply about the well-being of our world neighbors. And I'd like to just close on a quote. I like this quote very much. Water links us to our neighbor in a way more profound and complex than any other. It's by Jonathan Thorson. So thank you for joining your voice with so many others in caring so deeply about the well-being of our world neighbors. Again, the Rotary Club of Evergreen is honored to be financially sponsoring this symposium, one sponsor. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, President Lamontagne. Again, we really appreciate the partnership with your club on sponsoring this symposium. Up next, we'd like to invite Heidi Rickles, who is partnering from the E-Club of WASH, to say a few words as well. So thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. Turn that down a little. Hi. Thank you so much for having us. The Rotary E-Club of WASH is a virtual Rotary club. Our members are all WASH related. Many are working for NGOs or have an interest in WASH, have worked on Rotary WASH projects. We have members from all over the world. So our district is 9999 out of New Zealand. We have several Kiwi members and members throughout the United States, Mexico, Europe, Africa, and we operate very lean and mean. We focus only on WASH. We have speakers just like a regular club, but it's all on Zoom. So we were doing Zoom before the pandemic, before it was cool and everybody knew about it. We meet bi-weekly, different time zones to accommodate all of our members. You're always welcome to come. There's no fee to join. It's on our website, and I'll be at the back if you want to hear more about it. If you're not a Rotarian, but you're interested in WASH, you're interested in Rotary, come talk to me, because we're always looking for members and people who are interested in learning more about WASH and development. So that's our club, and thank you so much for having us again at this symposium. We're honored to be a part of it, and just come back and chat with me and learn more about the Rotary E-Club of WASH. But thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Heidi. District Governor Bucci was going to say a few words for us today online. Unfortunately, an issue has come up, so he will not be able to join us right now, but expresses his thanks and support for this symposium today, and we might or might not hear from him a little bit later, but I just wanted to make sure we expressed that message from him. So with that, I think we have finished our introductions, and what we'd like to do is move on to our first award for today. And I'd like to invite Roger up, and Alessandro and Lynn as well to the stage.
While the others are coming up on the stage here, I'll just say a little bit. I'm with the Lakewood Foothills Rotary Club, and we sponsor the George K. Davis Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene Award every year. And that's one of the club-sponsored awards of District 5450. And we sponsor that award because George Davis was a past president of our club. Unfortunately, he died way earlier than he should have. He was a professor of civil engineering, specializing in water projects, excuse me, down at the University of Colorado, Denver. And as I said, a member of our club and a very active one. He was president about the time I joined that club. And I remember the loss amongst the members when he suddenly passed away. But we honor him every year with this award. And joining me up here are members of the Boulder Rotary Club, which was the award that was given this year for the best water project. I was not part of the selection team, but they'll have a chance to explain a little bit of their project with the rural water systems on the Indian reservations in South Dakota. I want to say something personally about that. I grew up in Northeast Nebraska, and my family would travel often on vacations up to the Black Hills of South Dakota or on up into Wyoming to the national parks. And that route always took us through the part of South Dakota with the Pine Ridge and Rosebud Indian reservations. And I remember my father saying, every time we would go through there, coming and going, what a hard life these people had and the kind of land that they were on, having to make their lives where they were now located. He grew up on a farm in Northeast Iowa, and the soil in Northeast Iowa, you can dig a hole however deep and you never reach the bottom of the topsoil. And it's so black and fertile that even here in Colorado, the only place you could find something similar is out of a plastic bag at the garden centers. But again, he understood how hard it was for them. And I didn't know till recently, my sister and I, after both of our parents were gone, we're going through some old family pictures, and one of the pictures had to do with us traveling through that part of South Dakota. And my sister told me, said, you know, Mom told me this one time, that when we went through that part, he always made a point of stopping for gas in like Murdo or can't think of the other town up in that Mission, South Dakota, to buy gas. And even though a tank of gas and some ice cream wasn't much, he always tried to contribute to the local economy because he knew that many people planned their route through South Dakota so they didn't have to stop at one of the Indian towns. So when my club chose this project, and like I said, I wasn't part of the selection team, I had a personal feeling in my heart for the fact that that's the project that won the George K. Davis this year. So we give a plaque, but we don't have our plaque because it's been missing for a few years. It's a large plaque. If any of you have a Rotary Club, and I know there are a lot of people representing clubs here who receive this in past years, it's a large plaque with the brass plates every year. If anybody knows that you had that at one time, we're still in the process of tracking it down. But we do have another part of the award that Steve Werner's going to present to the Boulder Rotary Club now.
Thank you, Roger. And as Tim showed a few minutes ago, we have wonderful support from sponsors, and we started asking for sponsorship to make sure that we never do this symposium at a loss, because there was no fallback if we should lose money. And so we've been very fortunate to have a wonderful committee and wonderful sponsorship. So for several years now, we've had a small net income as a result of doing this symposium. We made the decision that we wanted to help students with their projects. So some of the proceeds go for that, but also because George Davis was such a leader in our district and such an important award to encourage Rotary clubs to do water and sanitation hygiene projects, that we decided to use some of our proceeds to help provide seed money for the next project that the winning club might do, or to use the money to go back and do some monitoring evaluation of their project. So on behalf of our planning committee and our district water and sanitation committee, I'm really pleased to present this check for $1,000 to the winning club, which is the Boulder Club. So Alessandro and Lynn, will you tell everybody about the project? And here's the check.
Thank you very much. We appreciate very much. Welcome also the audience on Zoom. My name is Alessandro Sachs. My colleague, we are both co-chairs, Dr. Lynn Johnson, of the World Community Service Committee of the Boulder Rotary Club. Very few words. Our takeaway I want to share on 4 points that can be applied also for other grants projects like those. Lynn and I spearheaded this great challenge and opportunity to connect indigenous people, Native Americans from the Oglala Lakota tribe in the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota, only 5 hours driving from here, to connect homes to non-contaminated water. Our 4 biggest takeaways and achievements are: we started with a small pilot project, a small district grant connecting only 3 homes. Lynn and I traveled then there for 3 days to review and to get to know better our local implementation partner, NGO Running Strong for American Indian Youth. It was co-founded by Billy Mills, a celebrity in the sports arena from 1964. He won the first Native American gold medalist in 10,000 meters running, and he's a Lakota native. We got to know better the local office of Running Strong, which is led by a Lakota elder, Ken Lone Elk, and his family and his team. All the contractors which were involved in connecting those homes are actually from the reservation. We found an agreement with Running Strong, with the NGO, that they would match every dollar provided via our club of Rotary clubs fundings, matching it up to $150,000. We managed to raise $145,000 with their 50%, with their doubling allowed to connect 45 homes. So pilot, try to make something that is scalable, and then really a secret aspiration of ours came through, try to make a project that can be transferable. One of the 22 Rotary clubs who contributed, not only from our district, from many other districts in the States, 1 club in Germany and 1 club in Switzerland. There was 1 club in Michigan called Holland, Rotary Club of Holland in Michigan. They contributed, and 8 months later, they saw our reports. They expressed the wish if we could help them to write their own district grant. So this was really a breakthrough for us. As we're speaking, they managed to raise funds for another 6 homes to connect, which are now connected. But another important thing that Lynn and I always said, how can we justify to the donors, what kind of message can we give? And Lynn will explain you, he wrote an academic paper which was published in December of last year in the journal that he will explain. Thank you.
Good morning, and thanks for your attention, and appreciate all of your efforts in acknowledging our project and really appreciate all of your projects. The assessment that Alessandro is referring to, I'm a recovering academic, engineering, economics, and water resources. So I took an attempt at estimating what the benefits were for dollars invested. And we have a poster back there, the second from the right. Round numbers, $4 benefits in reduced healthcare costs, travel, clinic visitations, and expense for water for every dollar invested. And this estimation procedures got into the literature, and I cite the other reports that have come out. The main one is by World Health Organization, which assessed the performance of clean water and sanitation and hygiene activities worldwide. And for pipe systems, their estimate is 5-to-1 benefits for piped water. But for sanitation like toilets and hand washing and sanitation activities, some of the benefits in target communities, 40-to-1. So those of you working internationally, congratulations. This is huge payoff for the efforts that you put in and the monies that you raise. And I'd like to second Alessandro's comment about working with Running Strong. Ken Lone Elk is out in the field, all Indian work crew. Sam O'Rourke is the contractor, all Indian work crew, and they continue with those connections. It's been a real pleasure to work with them and to get to know them. And I think you probably have that in your activities in meeting the communities that you're working with domestically and internationally. So thanks again. Have a nice conference.
Again, congratulations on the award. It was a great project. What we'd like to do is just have a couple minutes of break. If you do want to get up and get a coffee and get some breakfast, we are just lining up our first plenary speaker who will be joining us online. So please feel free to take just a couple of minutes, and we'll be starting soon. If you want to move forward, feel free to move forward as well. There's plenty of room at the front. Don't be shy. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you very much.
Come on, look inside out. There you go. Good. What? Where? Oh, you cleaned it up. Oh, look at you. Look at you. The charge, right? Oh, you want to ride the gator?
Okay, we're going to get back to it. If you would please take your seats and feel free to move forward. As you can see, showing on the screen here, we did get the word cloud up. We only had we only had 19 participants for the word cloud, but nonetheless, you can get the idea. The more votes a word gets, the larger the word becomes, right? So we've got empowerment, sustainability, and health really at the center of what we're talking about according to the 19 participants. But I know there are more people out there, so keep on voting, and we'll show it again later this afternoon. So right now I have the honor to introduce Peter Van Arsdale, Denver Southeast. He is going to introduce our plenary speaker. Thank you, Peter.